the subreddit for Love Island. That place is insane. Like, how old are these people? Who are these people? I feel like all they do is nitpick about everything, about Nicolandria.
So then we're going to be talking about Olandria, and this is very messy. So if you don't like mess, please just vacate. So a lot of people have been complaining of the fact that Love Island Reddit page, the general Love Island Reddit page where people go to talk about all Love Islanders, seem to be a page that is created just to hate on Nick and Olandria. Anybody that talks about them positively or try to defend them when people make hate posts about them gets banned or muted on the general Love Island Reddit page. And that is very weird because this is a page that's supposed to uplift all Love Island candidates. And somebody was like, the one Reddit sub is so funny because they will try to make it seem like they are not a snark page, which is a hate page, by posting other islanders every now and then, but there ain't no engagement. But let it be Nick and Olandria, everybody has something to say. And that person went, if it was truly a Love Island US page, your positive comment for them wouldn't get deleted. The subreddit is nothing but hating assholes. Then people swear relationship are monolites when they aren't. Nick can't breathe around the girl without them claiming cheating. They always posting a video of him and some white girl lying about him, trying to say that he's cheating on Olandria just because they don't like Olandria. Another person went, like them pretending it's not a dictatorship is sending me, because if you dare try and defend Nick and Olandria, you are gonna get banned. Might as well change that sub name into Nicolandria Snark instead of just leaving it as Love Island Reddit page, because it seems like all the hate and most of the things they talk about is just focused on Nicolandria. Another person went, no, for real, even if they are post about other islanders, they will find a way to bring Olandria and Nick up. It's crazy. Another person went, the Love Island page on Reddit is actually disgusting, commenting on Olandria's body, dissecting her face and her breasts, hyper analyzing her body is actually disgusting and sick. This is actually gone beyond just hating. This is body shaming and whatever. It's so bad. And this is the kind of message you get when you make like a comment or a post trying to defend Nick and Olandria. You get this like, hello, you have been permanently banned from participating in our Love Island USA because your comment violates the community rules. But they will leave other hate comments up. This person went, so my comment was removed, but the rest of the hateful comment stays up. Because this person's comment is trying to protect Nick and Olandria, they get your comment from Love Island US was removed because of no excessive hostility. But other comments were more hostile than this, and they didn't remove it. And what this person, the moderator of this page, did was to now temporarily mute the person that was trying to talk about it. You have been temporarily muted. Then somebody else now said something. Now said there is an Olandria snark, a full-blown snark page dedicated to just Olandria. This is no longer the Love Island Reddit page that is trying to behave as if they are a general Love Island community while hating on Nick and Olandria. This time around, these people created a Reddit page, snark page, just focused on hating on Olandria. And that is very true. You will see it, Olandria Snark, and it has over 740 followers. We are going to deep dive into this snark page, so if you don't like mess, again as I said, please leave, because a lot of things here are very bad, very hateful, a lot of theories that I don't even understand where they came from. People writing down articles so long talking about Olandria, her brand deals, her relationship, her life in and out of the house. So when Olandria went to the Golden Globe Eve party, someone went ahead to screen record a video of her walking on the carpet that looks like she was asking for direction, and posted it on the snark page saying, strolling them people's carpet looking confused and lost as fuck. Trying to say that she looked confused and lost like she doesn't belong there. The other person went, because what the fuck is she even at the Golden Globes doing? Let me send her an invite to this envelope opening ahead of. We're gonna be gagged, you all. Then another person that went, it's not the Globes, it's some pre-party thing. Another person went, she's probably paid to be there. Talking about Olandria at the Golden Globe. If she was paid to be there, that's not a bad idea. She didn't pay them to allow her to go there. They paid her to be there. It's a brand deal. People pay influencers, celebrities to go to events, so that is not bad. I don't understand the reason for this hating. Then another person made this full-blown article talking about the fact that they cannot stand Olandria. And let me read. They went, it may be mean to say this, but I truly cannot stand Olandria. I really loved her initially and I was rooting for her and Taylor. But the more she showed herself and her true personality post-villa especially, the more I started to dislike her. Here is my issue. She was pretending to be someone she just was not in the villa. while also having parts of her personality slip out. She did the dignified, classy, educated personnel and kept pushing it, but she was such a huge pick-me. She had low self-esteem. She was hunting Taylor and his love and attention while he was very clearly not into her. That low self-esteem pick-me personnel kept coming out every single time she accidentally spilled a secret, telling people Huda is a single mother, telling the girls, especially Sierra, about Nick and that blonde girl, telling people she could not be a single mom, spilling that Huda and overseas made up, etc. There was other times too, and every time she did it, it was to make herself look better. She was obsessed with her look and the way she came off on camera far more than anyone else. Then she gets out the villa, and instead of talking to her friend, she starts listening to her fans. She became a moderator in multiple fan communities. During the reunion, she admitted that she had that Huda called her a boo during the CHD interview. That did not happen, and had she listened to her podcast and spoke to Huda, she would have heard how much Huda talked about loving her and appreciating her and being close to her. Then the Ace interview comes out, and again, instead of listening to the podcast, she simply listened to her fans. Then her fans get on Chelley and start attacking her, saying how Chelley is jealous and Chelley must also believe Nicolandria is fake because Ace didn't say anything about them in the interview. He did not praise them. So as her fans attack Chelley, Ola distances herself from her, acting as if Chelley somehow betrayed her. The same thing with multiple other islanders. Instead of listening for herself, she simply takes on whatever her fans says. Nick loves her, Nick is healing her. Nicolandria are healing the world because she's a dark-skinned black woman and he's a stereotypical white boy. As I watched interviews that Ola did, whether it was alone or with Nick, every single word she would say was just her parroting her fans. She behaves in whatever way they want her to. They talk about her body. Oops, there is Ola body checking immediately. They talk about her being classy. There is Ola with some parroted wisdom and in a classy outfit. She does whatever they want her to do. It is as if she truly has no personality of her own, and I started to really dislike her. It is hard for me to believe that she has any moral, ethics, believe of her own, because all she does is parrot whatever her fans says. Even the slut thing that occurred during Huda's life went to such an extreme when in reality it was so obvious that you couldn't hear Ola's name at all, and it was a huge shock to her to hear a young kid's voice saying the N-word. It was obvious that the laughter that followed was one of awkwardness and shock, but no, she immediately victimizes herself and pushes a narrative against a former friend that was not accurate at all, because her fans turned Huda into her competitor. They did the same with Chelley too. She loves being the victim, and this Nicolandria scam that she continues to push despite Nick embarrassing her over and over again has truly made me dislike her. She's abundantly clear that they are both performing and are not in a relationship. They just do or say whatever her fans in the community she moderates says. But in the final nail in the coffee for me was the fact that the community she moderates are constantly talking shit about her former friends. They talk shit about Huda's child. They post picture of her. They talk shit about Sierra, Chelley, Clegg, Coco, Huda, etc. It is consistent in those communities that she moderates that her fans says the most vile and disgusting things about her former friends and colleagues. She allows it, she says nothing. It really has disgusted me. I went from a fan to an actual hater, to be honest, because she has disappointed me entirely. I find her attitude and personality to be that of a mean girl, a pick-me with low self-esteem that will always center men in her life and never her friends. She's a dangerous woman to be friends with because she wants to be the victim and the main attraction simultaneously. It is pathetic. I don't care. This doesn't seem to have an issue with Olandria connecting with her fans. Just say that her fans are the one directing her on what to do, and she doesn't have a personality, and she does only what her fans tell her to do. She's friends with people her fans tell her to be friends with. She distances herself from people her fans claim to hate. I don't really know if that is true. I can't really say. I've never seen the situation where fans are the one commanding the celebrity that they love. I think they just get to respect whatever decision that the celebrity they like makes. The other person commented under the article saying, "Girl, we all hate her. I can't call that a post, it's too long." Another person went, "Leave me alone. It's actually good to be in this company because I'm so exhausted by her fans on every other social media app pushing her 24/7 on the rest of us. They are delusional at fuck." Trying to say that they are happy about the fact that they are in a Olandria hate page because it gives them the opportunity to freely hate her instead of other social media platforms where her fans are there to protect her and show off the achievement that she has. Why exactly do you hate somebody so much that you create a group to hate them? Another person came with the fact that they haven't seen Olandria's friends before post villa, so therefore she's not a good person. Person was like, who were Olandria's friends before the villa? That's an actual question because I haven't seen photos of her with others. Somebody said, right, that's a good question. Everyone says how Huda has no friend, but I've seen that girl surrounded by people constantly. Can't say the same about Olandria. But someone replied to that long-ass article post saying, this sure is a lot of projection. Have you ever considered what it would be like to live under a microscope and people making all sorts of assumptions on you? I think you are putting some impossibly high standard on these people. Nobody is perfect and the world is not black or white. Very true. Then somebody said, I doubt she give a fuck about you not liking her. Keep stalking her, keeping her engagements up. She can't help it. She looks good and you don't. Oh my God. But then somebody replied saying, Olandria is not attractive. Oh my God, she has beauty in her, but please, she's so off-putting. Like we always debate her beauty, that's a plus. There's pictures where she look good and others where I'm like, oh no. She relies on makeup and on filter. She was so pretty in the villa, I don't know what happened. Then there's this Twitter post that I saw that is very, very true. Somebody was like, it's so funny when they tell on themselves, screaming Facetune about Olandria's picture. As if we weren't introduced to her on live television. You saw her live, so why exactly are you not saying that her pictures are Facetune and that she's ugly? You already saw her live. But then someone came again with another article theory about Olandria. God, the first one was that she was a victim, she doesn't have self-esteem, she's a pick-me. This person again came with the self-esteem thing. She was like, I think Olandria has low self-esteem. And I'm not trying to be mean, you are mean. It's actually sad. She can't seem to stand alone. She always needs somebody to cling to. She did the same thing with Chelley that she's now doing to Nick, putting way more into the relationship than the other person. She paid to fly to Florida for one day. She bought his family those cowboy hats, which are expensive, and allegedly all he got her is that LV wallet card. Nobody knows the gift, and nobody still knows the gift that Olandria got for Christmas from Nick. Then she continued, mind you, he's made so much money from that fan base subscribing to his life and going to Greek Fest. Even in interviews, she used to gush about Nick so much, and he never speaks about her in the same way. She always talked about him yearning, and he never said he was yearning for her. She did the same with Chelley, where she will use every opportunity to center Chelley, and when Chelley didn't treat a 6-week friendship the same, she got criticized unfairly. Still don't see what's wrong with Chelley saying she wanted to see her girls at the reunion. Nobody told Olandria to say she was only excited to see Chelley. Okay, I think before they were saying that she had an issue with Chelley, but now people are trying to say that she liked Chelley too much and she was giving Chelley too much. You need to stand in one place with this theory so we know if she's good or if she's bad, because this is not even painting her as a bad person. Then someone else came again saying the time has come. Just to clarify, I've always been a Huda and Amaya fan. I love seeing emotional people on TV and them actually getting to represent themselves. I would say at first I didn't like Chelley, but that was because of Olandria and her fans. How is that their fault? They make it seem like it's so abnormal to see a dark-skinned girl on TV when it's normal as fuck. It is not so normal. Then Chelley actually showed us how she moved with her emotions as a grown woman and that she can be friends with anybody because she's her own person. Again, trying to talk about the fact that it seems like Olandria was trying to cage Chelley. But now that Olandria is no longer friends with Chelley, you still trying to blame Olandria, free her. They continued, I feel like Olandria leashed off of everyone's personality to be interesting because all she had is that she's a dark-skinned woman on TV. You have seen Serena cuss out Cordell plenty times, but when it's Huda or Amanda, they are manipulative and terrible people. One thing about every fandom is that we hold all our faves accountable for their action and we move on. But with her fandom, they bully everyone and talk down on them. I never understood how they can bow down to a black woman yet pick on someone who had a nose job, saying another black woman looks manly, and even pick on someone who cries a lot. I got called colorist because I never liked her. I'm glad other people are waking up. She needs to as well. There is something you say there that is very, very racist, because why would you say I never understood how they can bow down to a black woman yet because someone had a nose job? Okay, I tried to say that liking a black woman is beneath people or is like the lowest level for rating people, and if somebody can actually like a black woman, then she can accept everything. Very, very racist. People that call you colorist are very correct, because you just show that You're not just colorist, you're racist. Another person went, all our fans are the reason I started to like Huda. They don't realize that their tactics worked against them. I also started to like Chelley a lot after the show. She has always been beautiful, but I feel like she shines more without Olandria personality-wise. Again, Olandria is at fault. I also find it odd that her fans always come on this snark page to defend her. There's so many other subreddits to show her love. They act like we are discussing their mother on you or something. You are angry that Olandria's fan come to a page you created to hate her, to defend her. Why? Because why exactly are you creating a page to hate on their fave? It just doesn't make sense. Olandria's fans are in trouble because they seem to have a lot of haters. Another person went, even on the new Love Island USA sub, they are claiming that this snark page is so terrible when it's only the first place where people had the space to express their thoughts about her and her fans without their rabid asses jumping down everyone's throat when they largely participate in the same kind of discourse on there anyway. I don't know, I find the fan base of Love Island at large is very hypocritical. They will praise anyone who disrespects Huda and in the same breath curse her out for not wanting to kiss those people's feet. They laugh at Amaya as she was going through her breakup, but had it been Olandria, that kind of discourse around the breakup would have again been shut down by racist accusations towards the participant. But everybody has been talking about I picked Clegg for a long time. What Taylor did by picking Clegg over Olandria, and nobody was talking about it. So when it comes to their relationship and breakup, I think everybody has gotten a share of hate about that. Then this person came in the position of being a professional and was trying to talk about Olandria's achievements in the industry. She came and said, my perspective as an industry PR director on Olandria's awards, brand strategy are bigger than the program status. I work in communication and PR within the film and television industry and have done so for over 12 years. What are you doing on a snark page that is hating on Olandria? You're too big for this. My spouse also works in film and TV. You married? From an industry perspective, it is important to be very clear about how much this ecosystem actually functions, because much of the public discourse around Olandria reflects a fundamental misunderstanding of how visibility, awards, and media exposure are manufactured. Are you trying to say that Olandria's achievements are manufactured? The reason she is being nominated for these awards is because of her management and PR company. These nominations are paid for. Every award nomination, every win, every magazine spread or cover, and every media mention has been secured through paid placement arrangements by her team. This is standard industry practice. When a management or PR company believes they can push a client into perceived fame, they invest heavily during the first 6 to 12 months. That investment usually includes purchasing awards, buying covers, paying for media mention, and securing seats, appearances, and panels to manufacture legitimacy and momentum. Despite the level of money being spent, Olandria's engagement is objectively weak for someone being positioned as highly sought after or famous. Engagement is one of the clearest indicators of real audience demand. Hers has barely moved. Her follower count has also remained largely stagnant despite the volume of paid media, awards, events, and press coverage. From a professional standpoint, that raises serious concern about longevity. She does have a loyal and reactive fan base. However, that fan base is not growing in any meaningful way and does not consistently engage with her content. Nicolandria's fans spend a disappropriate amount of time discussing other islanders, often using Olandria's achievement to diminish perceived competitors, particularly Chelley and Huda, rather than building her independent brand equity. I think that's a lie, because she went to Golden Globe alone, she went to Netflix alone. A fan base that does not expand or deepen engagement eventually loses value regardless of how loud it is. In terms of actual brand work, she has only 5 confirmed partnerships: Kulani, NYS, Agri de Cafe, Sweet Green, and Microsoft Copilot. The Copilot collaboration is a small-scale influencer campaign that hundreds of much smaller creators have also done, and it does not pay particularly well. Many of the other appearances attributed to her are one-off ads, managed campaign or placement paid for by her management team to elevate her profile rather than brands paying her. In cases such as Raising Cane's and Sergio, she's effectively paying for exposure rather than being paid. How true is this? Other ads including Amazon, Honda and Vaseline were one-off advertisements or paid partnership designed to push her further into the influencer ecosystem. These are not indicators of airline demand, nor do they suggest a clear or strategic long-term positioning. Her overall brand strategy is scattered and incoherent. Her team appears intent on having her do anything and everything: small ads, small brand deal, constant visibility, and a high volume of purchase media mentions. Her Vogue mentions and participation in Get Ready With Me magazine videos were fully paid placements. I know this directly because a close friend I have worked with for years was involved in that campaign. How true is this? That individual did not have positive things to say about Olandria's attitude during the process. This again. The larger issue is that the strategy seemed to be visibility at any cost, which is not a viable or sustainable approach. Many of the brands she has worked with make little sense when viewed alongside her stated goal of becoming a model, particularly a high fashion model. If the objective were to transition her into legitimate celebrity or fashion industry territory, I would not advise a client to do Raising Cane's, Amazon, Co-Pilot, Content Creator Awards, or Women in Business Power Awards. I also would not advise constant live stream, especially not with paid subscribers, moderating Twitter or S communities, or saying yes to every podcast or media request that comes in. That behavior actively undermines exclusivity and long-term positioning. From a professional standpoint, the strongest strategic decision her team made were paying for the Harper Bazaar cover, securing Vogue mentions and related content, obtaining Fashion Week sitting, and having her work in the Sergio show. We know that she wasn't the only one that went to Fashion Week or worked in Sergio show, so I tried to say that Huda also paid for it. Outside of those few moves, her agency has her accepting nearly everything in the hope that exposure alone will propel her into celebrity or modeling status. It will not. What they are executing is a standard influencer rollout, and she's behaving exactly like a stereotypical influencer with 1 or 2 million followers. No, you got it wrong, because she went to Golden Globe and Netflix premiere. There is also a clear contradiction in how she is being positioned. On one hand, her team is trying to appease a fan base that insists she is bigger than the program. On the other hand, the actual strategy is influencer-only marketing. Paid covers, media mentions, and awards are being used to imply celebrity status, while her deals, content, and behavior places her firmly in the large but not macro influencer category. She has not received a true macro or mega influencer or celebrity rollout by any industry standard. Despite the amount of money being spent, her engagement and follower growth have not meaningfully improved. At this point, the investment does not appear to be paying off. I do not see her transitioning into a legitimate modeling career. What I do see is her remaining in the influencer space due to a loyal fan base, but without evolving into a serious content creator or fashion figure. You are not seeing anything. Eventually, her management and PR team will reduce spending on covers, shoots, awards, and paid collaborations. That is when her real trajectory will become visible. My expectation is that she will remain an influencer, continue doing smaller ads and collaboration, and maintain a modest presence. When she and Nick eventually break up, her engagement will likely drop further. Additionally, once season 8 of Love Island airs, attention will shift as it always does. For someone whose fan insists she's bigger than the program, the output has been overwhelming. Beyond paid covers, she's doing exactly what most influencers do: a handful of long-term partnership ads, managed content, podcasts, and media interviews. There's nothing particularly elevated, exclusive, or distinctive about this rollout. They were waiting for 2026, Golden Globe, and Netflix. The awards she has received are also not especially notable within the industry. The Harvard narrative is another example of exaggeration. She was not invited by Harvard as an institution, nor did she receive an award from Harvard itself. She was invited by a student and alumni organization affiliated with Black women in business programs, and the award was issued by that group. It has no institutional affiliation with the Harvard University. This pattern of misrepresentation is consistent. The Harper Bazaar cover was digital only and published by Harper Bazaar Vietnam, which is well known for selling digital covers. It was a purchase placement. The Microsoft Co-Pilot collaboration was framed as comparable to Huda's Call of Duty campaign, which it was not. The Co-Pilot ad is a low-paying influencer campaign that many micro-influencers have done. Regardless of personal opinion, no personal opinion is here. The only cast members from season 7 who did not follow the standard Love Island influencer pipeline was Huda. Her post-villa run was on an entirely different level. She appeared on the largest podcast in the world, did a GQ cover and interview, and then largely stepped back despite overwhelming demand. The partnerships she accepted were few, but each paid 6 to 7 figures. The NFL Touch Push segment, the Call of Duty campaign, and the Huda Beauty campaign were all major high-paying deals. From conversation with credible industry source, she remains the most in-demand islander, frequently priced out of budget and extremely selective about partnership. While an encoder, this information comes from a reliable contact. That trajectory was derailed, but it does not neglect the fact that she once had a once-in-a-lifetime post-Villa run. Truthfully, yes, Huda's run was very big, I agree. I understand the frustration many have around the awards Olandria is receiving, but it's important to recognize that these are bought and paid for. Nomination are secured through agency deals, fan engagement amplifies them, and in some cases, winning is part of the agreement with award organizers. Wow. I'm genuinely interested to see how her career unfolds in the next 6 months. However, despite the narrative being pushed, she remains an influencer, a standard influencer with a weak to okay engagement rate. Her highest engagement consistently comes from posts featuring Nicolandria content outperforms her solo content across views, likes, reposts, and comments. That raises legitimate question about how long this relationship, partnership, or branding strategy will continue, given the clear advantage of them being positioned together. As someone who works in the industry, I cannot emphasize enough how unimpressive this rollout has been from a professional standpoint. It is a textbook influencer strategy backed by heavy agency spending in an attempt to manufacture celebrity status without the organic traction, strategic discipline, or audience growth required to sustain it. It is simply not at all giving bigger than the program. Sorry. That was a lot, and I really hope that Olandria's career in the next 6 months surprises a lot of people positively. The next person came Nicolandria. This might be controversial, and I've been holding this in for a while. Why have you been holding in something about somebody's relationship for a while? But personally, I don't think Olandria would have been the it girl without Nick. What is it? They are always saying Olandria is bigger than the program. She doesn't need Nick. The main reason she's as big as she is because of Nick liking her and finding her attractive. Before she even coupled up with Nick, people only gave her sympathy and love because she got rejected by Taylor. Similar to Amaya, I thought on the show she was simply boring and stiff and didn't show a lot of her personality. On the other hand, even though I don't fully trust Nick, if they're in a real relationship, Nick has a lot of personality and is very funny and can get along with anyone. He carried a lot of the Nicolandria hype while Olandria gave nothing, literally. I also believe Olandria wouldn't have been popular if a white man didn't like her. I mean, Nick even said it in one of his latest podcasts. He said the public likes the interracial aspect. If the same thing happened on Love Island and Nick was a black man or any other race other than white, Nicolandria would not have been a teen. My apologies if I reiterated anything that have been said on another post. I'm open for any disagreements on what I wrote. You guys should leave them alone. They are fake, they are real. It's not your business. Then someone replied saying, I will never forget how pathetic that one scene was when she was in the photo booth doing that desperate large dish attempt to get Taylor to pick her. The way Olandria begged was sad. If you think it was sad, why are you trying to use it to insult her? Then person said the self-love was off the chart that day. And that person said, and she moved on. You've never done anything questionable while dating somebody. Exactly. Somebody was like, pushing my boobs together for photo for a guy who made it abundantly clear he doesn't want me. Can't say that I've been desperate enough to do that. A lot of people have done things for people they like in a relationship. Get over it. But then someone came to Olandria's rescue. Person was like, actually, there was nothing questionable about her leaving that picture in that situation. In the real world, if a man has questions about you and another woman, you make his life easier by removing yourself from the equation. Love Island is a game. The objective is to stay on the show within a couple. Her only way to achieve that during Casa was with either Taylor or Nick. She chose Sierra over herself and decided to stick with Taylor because she thought he was being honest about wanting to explore her still. What people like this fail to get is her words came into play after the recoupling when she really didn't pursue Taylor after the recoupling. She really did ignore him with the exception of the heart race challenge, and pulling Taylor was Ellen's idea, not Ola's. Still, let them tell themselves any lie they like. It's January 2026 and Ola and her man are living their best life. She's good and will be fine no matter what happened within their relationship, which seems very solid and is very correct. It's already 2026 January. Olandria has achieved a lot. I feel everybody should leave her. If her relationship is fake, is her business, is real, is her business. I really don't know why there is a snark page dedicated to just her. Like, that's something else. But what do you think?